I'm Dawson Schmidt here with the latest stories and developments in this week's Commodity Roundup on Trader PhD.
Canada could rake in a larger wheat harvest this upcoming season due to increased acreage. Data from Statistics Canada this week showed farmers could plant 27.5 million acres of wheat this year, up 2.6% from last season. The rise in acreage was primarily driven by increased spring wheat acres, and if realized, it would also be the largest area since 1997. Statistics Canada said higher acres may be due to strong global demand for higher quality wheat. Meanwhile, canola acres are expected to decrease by nearly 2% to 21.63 million acres, which is roughly in line with the 5-year average. StatsCan says the decline is due to lower profitability as well as reduced soil moisture in Western Canada. Tariffs haven't made their way out of the headlines yet, and now the European Union is getting involved. The EU announced plans to impose a 25% tariff on U.S. corn imports starting April 1st. That is in response to the U.S. raising its tariff on steel and aluminum imports to 25%. Media reports showed EU measures will cover other goods from the U.S., including steel and aluminum products, textiles, and home appliances. U.S. corn exports to Europe account for about 9% of total shipments this season. The U.S. typically exports about 1 to 4 million tons of corn annually. The back and forth between the U.S. and trade partners has driven headline risk in commodity markets since President Trump took office. Feeder cattle futures continued their push to all-time highs this week as demand refused to back off. Cash prices have been the primary driver of futures as tight supplies continue to support the market. Front-month feeder cattle futures rallied to a new record high on Wednesday to $280.67 per hundredweight. Meanwhile, the CME feeder cattle index traded at about $276 this week. Live cattle futures were slower to make gains over the past week, but found strength as Fed cash negotiated prices rose back to $200. Negotiated slaughter, steer, and heifer prices remained steady at around $197 in the South, while live sales in Nebraska were at about $200 to $202 last week. Rising box beef prices were also a supportive factor, with the choice cutout rising $6 so far this week to $321 per hundredweight. Retail beef demand has been the primary driver as consumers have been slow to back down from record prices. Thanks for watching. I'm Dawson Schmidt, and this has been Trader PhD.